Most people have a favourite thing, be it a game, movie, song, book, food, you name it, can be absolutely anything. And like most things, it's just that person's opinion. Everyone's is completely different. It also means that everyone's is completely valid as well. The reason why I'm explaining this is because of my next sentence. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is my favourite game ever. There's a lot of games I absolutely adore, from Resident Evils to Metal Gears, Street Fighters and Dark Souls, and a whole host more. But nothing has ever taken that crown away from Sonic 2, and I honestly don't think anything ever will. From the first time I saw that beautiful title screen to even now, every time I play this I have the same reaction. A huge smile on my face with my feet tapping to the music whilst I bomb through each level. For a game I love so much, I honestly don't think I can do it justice, though I will try my best to do so. Released in 1992 after the success of the original game, Robotnik plans once again to steal the Chaos Emeralds to power his army of robots and his space fortress, the Death Egg. Accompanied by his new sidekick Tails, Sonic sets out across West Island, taking them both through multiple new zones, to the sky and even space. In the first of many significant changes, zones are only now 2 acts long, except for the 3-act Metropolis zone and the final 3 levels. There are now 10 zones to play through, each is vibrant at the last, with beautiful sprite work and detail going into them. The levels themselves have also expanded greatly, with most having multiple paths to take and a great sense of scale and height to them. Plus they each for the most part have their own gimmick, whether it's the corkscrews of Emerald Hill, the gambling in Casino Night, or riding a tornado on your approach to the Winged Fortress in Sky Chase. You can tell they really took what did and didn't work in Sonic 1 and really tried to keep Sonic's speed at the forefront in general. Unlike the first game, there aren't many areas where the action grinds to a halt, save for a few parts of Hilltop and Mystic Cave, but even then it's so brief before you get back up to top speed, the devs understood those parts need to be limited in the next game. The big change to the gameplay comes in the spin dash, allowing you to hit your top speed with no more than a few button presses. Tails is also the other big addition to the game, and while it physically doesn't change anything, it did show off his talents, which will be expanded on in future titles. You can control him as a second player while the main player plays as Sonic, which I'm pretty sure led to multiple arguments between brothers and sisters across the globe. You can choose to play as Sonic with Tails, just Sonic or just Tails, but they both share the same moveset for all but one difference. Collecting the emeralds can be achieved by getting 50 rings and jumping into the warp that appears from a star post. In it, you run down the special stage, a much welcome improvement over the first, and obtain rings while dodging bombs to meet the checkpoint requirements. Complete each round and you grab a Chaos Emerald at the end. With all of them in possession, you gain the ability of the hypest thing in the game, Super Sonic. Once you get 50 rings, press jump and then once again in the air to transform in what is essentially a Super Saiyan Sonic, complete with glowing yellow spikes, and being invincible except for crushing, falling into endless pits, or drowning. You also go ridiculously fast as you glide along the floor, demolishing anything in your way. It's a stupidly fun thing to do, and well worth the effort to get all the emeralds compared to the first game. It's only a shame that Tails doesn't have a super form in this game, again something that's fixed in the next iteration. It also once again has a small impact on the ending scene of the game. The music is also another high note that complements each stage perfectly. They're all mostly catchy, and especially songs like Casino Night, Mystic Cave and Chemical Plant are songs that are stuck in my head for nearly 30 years. It's my brain's autopilot music. Then there's the little things I've always been fond of that I look out for in other games. The multiple balancing sprites are quality, one of my favourite things even though it's such a small detail. As is the waiting animations, having Sonic pretending to look at a watch then lying down with Tails yawning in the background. It's stuff like this that makes all the other changes and improvements all the more memorable. They even added a 2-player mode with 4 stages, which personally I've enjoyed, although it might just be because I played this game to death, so winning wasn't particularly hard. The level select and debug codes are back, as well as an all Chaos Emeralds cheat, but need to be inputted in the sound test. Again, even the codes are a reference to the release date of the game and Yuji Naka, the game's lead programmer and future Sonic team member. So do I even have anything negative to say about Sonic 2? Well, probably back when I was younger, the enemy placement in certain levels was a pain without the knowledge that they're there. And I still don't understand why Metropolis needed 3 acts, and being underwater is still annoying. I didn't touch on this in my Sonic the Hedgehog 1 review because even though there's a level that 80 to 90% of it is completely made out of water, it's not actually that bad. Whilst your speed is limited and you do need to keep finding bubbles to resupply your air, it actually fits with the level layout and so it's not particularly that bad of a challenge. Compare that to Chemical Plant or Aquatic Ruins, and if you find yourself in the drink, not only does it seem like you run out of air quicker, but the panic of finding a supply of oxygen escalates when you feel like they're further apart. But if you don't actually end up in them, then it's not actually a problem. Oh, and the final fight can be a bit hit or miss, depending on your patience, though the Mecha Sonic is a complete joke. I started off this video by explaining that Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is my favourite game ever, and I'm pretty sure by now I've given enough of a reason to show why. I could easily go on for hours about this game, be it just from individual levels to enemy and boss design and so on. Whilst there will always be a debate about which is the best Sonic the Hedgehog game, which most people tend to say it's Sonic the Hedgehog 3 or Sonic CD, personally for me, while those two are enjoyable, they don't give me that same enjoyment that I get from Sonic the Hedgehog 2. But what's your opinion on Sonic 2? Do you love it as much as I do, or do you have some negatives that I'm completely overlooking? Leave a comment below and don't forget to smash the like button and hit subscribe so you keep updated with future videos. Any support greatly helps the channel. But with the best game ever out of the way, does that mean that everything else is bad from here? No, not for a while at least. We still have some time. I've been Tom from VPG Gaming, thanks for watching and have a great gaming day.